Hello Joe, this is my feedback to your draft. First of all, this looks quite good. I would recommend using the Nazarbayev University template because that's what we're using. So, but the design is okay of the slides. You've got the first one, information. Again, use the NU template. What is rare, that looks kind of cool here. You do have to reference this picture where you took it from. But I like this picture, it just gives you a nice visual of these elements, so that's cool. Now, here then you talk about the challenges. Again, this picture has to be referenced. Again, challenges. Okay, fine. Again, this picture has to be referenced. And here you're talking about how to extract. Include an in-text citation for this visual aid also. And I think it looks alright. You can talk about it. And then obviously you need to add references. Now this presentation, the way it is fine. But if you go to the guidelines, you'll see that that's not what exactly the guidelines are saying your presentation should be like. The first 3 minutes of it should be about you, your research interests, your future goals and ambitions. So it should be about yourself, and I'm not seeing that anywhere here. It goes straight into the content of what you're discussing. Also, there should be an outline slide. And the outline slide should tell the audience what you're going to discuss. All the sections in your presentation should be outlined before you actually start talking. So in this outline, the first thing you can include is personal information. And the first slide that you're going to talk about when you get to the presentation after the outline should be you, your goals, your ambitions, what you want to do with your research. And you spend 3 minutes on that. Go to the guidelines. It says very clearly what the elements are that you need to include in this presentation. So the first part is you. After that, here when you talk about rare earths and challenges, this could be about why the topic is important to society. So that could be part of the first 3 minutes. But what is missing is information about you. So you could keep those things if you want to. So you do not have to start completely from scratch again. You can keep those things, but make sure you add information about yourself. Again, go to the guidelines. Everything is very clearly set out there. And then the second 3 minutes should be discussion of 2 sources. If you took this from a source, I can imagine that this could be one of your sources that you're going to discuss in that second segment of 3 minutes. So after the first 3 minutes, which is about yourself, the second 3 minutes are discussion of 2 sources. And you can just very simply design the slides. You can just, in the title slide, you can say source 1, say what it is, and then source 2, again say what it is. And this visual aid, if you took it from one of those 2 sources, you could put it after that. Now in that discussion of the sources, again, you're not just talking about content, you're talking a lot about how the sources helped basically direct you in a certain research direction. So this source was very helpful to me, you can say, because it opened my eyes to this new area of this field. Just basically say how these sources shaped your interest in the topic. In what way were they helpful to you as a researcher? This is what we are discussing. Again, it's a little bit about content, but it's about how that source influenced you and your research interest. Okay, that should be the second 3 minutes. And after that there is a conclusion. And the conclusion, you can just wrap up maybe draw conclusions, what we can do, why this is important, how we can use this maybe in Kazakhstan. It's up to you what you want to say. In the conclusion, you only have 1 minute. So you will put that slide that says conclusion, and then you can include the references, which obviously there are no references here, but you will add them. And that's your presentation. Not so much about the topic, more about you, a little bit about the issue itself, why it's important for society, but mostly about your research interests, ambitions, and goals. What are you going to do in the future with all this research? What are you going to be? And then about the two sources and how they helped you, direct you in the right way. Okay, so that's what your presentation should be about. Practice with the clock. It's only 7 minutes and the 3 minutes are for Q&A. So practice the different sections so that you know what you can cover in 3 minutes for personal information and the other 3 minutes for the two sources. Okay, good luck on your individual presentation.